This is the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Ever wish you could re-listen to your favorite interview or segment? Do you enjoy hearing older shows for the first time in years? Then the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less is just what you need. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone. John Solberg here, your host for the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. And today's show is being brought to you by The Butcher Shop, purveyors of highly sought after 100% Australian non-crossbred Wyvara 9 Plus briskets that are always handpicked just for you. The Butcher Shop has been retailing the finest meats for more than 15 years. Every week, they're shipping out competition quality meats to many of the biggest teams in the competition scene across the nation. Simply put, teams who use The Butcher Shop win, and they win often. The Butcher Shop always has Berkshire, Compart Duroc, Allegiance Duroc, and Prairie Fresh all-natural pork in stock. And again, it's always handpicked just for you. You might be saying, John, all that sounds great, but I'd like to try something different. Rest easy. The Butcher Shop can get you something exotic. All you got to do is reach out and give them a call. See if they've got some ostrich, some elk, some alligator. Who knows? I'll tell you how to get a hold of them in just a moment. Before that, let's review. The best competition briskets? Check. The best pork selection? Check. Giving you better overall options to cook at home? The Butcher Shop's going to do that as well. So give the Butcher Shop a call today, 850-458-8782. That's 850-458-8782. You mentioned the BBQ Central Show, and they're going to give you 10% off your entire order. Also, get a hold of them over at Facebook, facebook.com/The Butcher Shop. Shop is spelled S-H-O-P-P-E. The Butcher Shop is home of the 100% Australian non-crossbred Wyvara 9 Plus briskets, and they are always handpicked just for you. Today is a very, very special day here on the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Greg has released some of the very first original podcasts that he did back in the forum days. This, the best I can tell, is the very first podcast that Greg ever did. I'm going to play this in a two-part series. It's going to take a couple weeks to get through it. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to kind of leave it intact to try to create some context. But here is part one of Greg Rempe's very first podcast.
This podcast powered by Telcaster.com.
Welcome to the Barbecue for You podcast, going off tonight. It's 8:35 on September 6th. In a few minutes, we'll be joined by a new barbecuer. His name is Bob. I've asked him to come on the show with me tonight and just give us a little background about how he got into barbecue, what his setup is, what he likes to cook, and all that stuff. First of all, I just wanted to give you an update on the board. Things are going strong. We started this board January 4th of 2005. We currently have 315 registered members, an unlimited amount of lurkers every day. We have 2,514 topics and a total of 31,171 posts. That breaks out to about 127 posts per day, and there is about 10 and a quarter topics started every day for everybody to jump in and have some fun on. Now, of course, all those aren't related to barbecue. There's some in the general discussion section and other hidden sections, if you didn't know about them. And those garner a lot of attention and sometimes can get a lot of posts rolling there, especially if there's a good hot topic in the general discussion section. But all in all, activity is still very good. We're still getting on the average of 45 to 50 new members per month. Of course, on the weekdays, it seems to grow a little bit more than on the weekends because people have a little bit more time and they're not out cooking during the week as much as they would be on the weekend. So participation dies off a little bit during the weekend, obviously because people are out there keeping an eye on the pits and making sure that everything is coming along nicely. So I did want to also mention and welcome Bill the Grill Guy into his moderating position. He's going to be helping me keep an eye out and make sure that all the few rules that we have involved in the board and that we're trying to implement are being kept along, along the lines of acceptability. He's also going to be, of course, helped with Captain Morgan and Bruce B. And with that being said, it looks like Bob has joined us via telephone. Bob, are you there?
Hi, Greg. How are you?
Good, Bob. How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
Good. I just wanted to first start out by saying appreciate you taking the time out. Pretty late tonight, 8:30 here on the East Coast. And did want to thank you for taking the time out tonight to have a little conversation.
Glad to do it, Greg. Thanks for asking me.
Oh, not a problem. I did want to let everybody know that you were fairly new to the board. So my idea tonight is just to get a little background on how you got interested in barbecue and what you have and all that good stuff. So how did you find your way into the world of barbecue?
Well, actually, I've been a griller for a long time. I was, a charcoal griller, and then I migrated up to, LP gas grilling, and then kind of watching some friends and observing some smoking and barbecuing going on here after I moved to Florida. I thought, it might be something a little bit more than I'd been doing, a little bit more involved, and I thought I might enjoy it. So I took the plunge.
Now, like I said, you're a fairly new member of the board. How did you come across the board itself?
Oh, actually, I was told about the Barbecue for You website by a good friend in Dallas.
And he's into smoking?
Yes, he is. He has a cook shack, a smokeette, and I was visiting with him. Actually, he was one of the people that really got my interest up. And I thought, well, that's a cook shack is a beauty, but I thought I would try to maybe take a bit of a more economical entry into barbecuing, and I went out and bought myself a Charbroil H2O electric. And mainly for cost, to see if I, really liked barbecuing, if I had the skill and the patience for it. It's worked out pretty well.
Now, when you're on the barbecue board, is there any particular section that you find most useful or that you like the best?
Well, I have to be honest. The general discussion area is probably my favorite area because it's a lot of good humor there, and the members have a lot of great discussion. I mean, it's just a fun place to hang out. But honestly, there are many other areas that I use regularly to find out how to do things. As you point out, I am kind of new at not only the board but at barbecuing and smoking in particular. So I go to the new recipe section. I go to the barbecue. I go to really all of them and look around to try to find help on different things that I might be trying that weekend or that particular day.
So you have a Charbroil electric water smoker?
I do.
And for those people that don't really have an idea what that might look like, is that like an offset or a vertical smoker? Or what does it look like in a general sense?
Well, I guess in a general sense, if you're familiar with the Brinkman or the Weber, the WSM, that's a vertical.
Right.
The Charbroil is the same kind of design in terms of how it looks from the outside. It's got a 1500 BTU coil in the bottom and uses a reflector pan for heat and a 1 gallon pan of water.
And then you have your cooking racks above that.
I have 2 cooking racks above that.
Okay. Now, have you made any modifications to that smoker that makes it a better working unit than it would out of the box?
There's no link in today's show notes to take you through this complete episode, but I'm going to hook you up. All you got to do is tune in next week. We're going to pick up right where we left off. We're going to find out the answer to that question, whether there was any modifications to that cooker, and we're going to carry through the rest of this 2-part series on Greg Grempy's very first podcast. I'm super excited that Greg has released some of these. You got to be careful with them. I absolutely love them. I'll comment a little bit more next week at the close. But until next time on the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less, I'm your host, John Solberg. I cannot wait to talk to you again soon.